Good morning everyone. Hope all of you are doing well. So I hope the last IT class is clear for you. So we have already started our chapter Introduction to MS Access 2007. So last class we have discussed three topics. What is database? And what is DBMS? The basic components used in DBMS. We have discussed these three topics. Today we are going to know the next part of that chapter. So children, all of you know that what is a DBMS? Full form is Database Management System. DBMS means, once again let me remind you, DBMS means a set of programs that helps to create and manage database. So we want to create and we want to manage our database. If there are so much files to be stored, that means a conventional so much files to be stored. I mean, at that time if we are facing any problem, we need a program to store or to manage these databases. This is known as database management system. So database management system helps us to store our files in a convenient manner. So today we are going to discuss about the advantages of DBMS. So let's start. The first one is easy to learn and use. This is the first advantage. Easy to learn and use means most of the database management system are easy to learn. That means there is no need of a special training to use this program. Once again, there is no need of a special training for us to use this. Whenever we are feeling difficulty to when we are feeling difficulty to manage our databases, we use database management system. So at that time there is no need of a special training. It is very easy to learn and use. So this is the first advantage. So the second advantage is reduce redundancy. What is the second one? Reduce redundancy. Redundancy, what is the meaning of redundancy? Redundancy means repetition. Repeating. If you are repeating same thing, it's another word as we are using as redundancy. So how we can reduce redundancy? I have told you that we are storing our data and files in a main central system. In the case of database management system, whatever database we are creating and storing, first of all we are doing it in a central system, in the main system. From there it is moving. So in the case when we are storing our data and files in a central system, we know in a single system we are doing this. So we know if any time we have repeated any files, we know that. So at that time we can reduce redundancy. So when we are knowing, we can reduce it. That is the second advantage. And the third advantage is reduced inconsistency. What is the third one? Reduced inconsistency. Inconsistency means, in the second advantage we have discussed that we can reduce the repetitions. When any files we are repeatedly stored, we can reduce that. And that means if unknowingly we have entered double data of same file. 2 times if we have stored same file, what happens? The first file will be updated and the second file will be deleted. That means what? The second file is inconsistent. So at that time we can reduce inconsistency. Once again, reduced inconsistency means if unknowingly we have entered a file at a 2 times. So the first time the stored one will be updated, and the second one, the same one we have entered the second time, no, that is replaced because that is inconsistent, so it will be deleted. So by deleting like that way, we can reduce inconsistency. Now the next one is, fourth one is sharing data. What is the fourth one? Sharing data. So we are storing our files in database. So there is a major advantages. We can share this to multiple users using this database management system. So in DBMS, sharing of data is accepted or done. And the fifth one is data security. Which is the fifth one, data security. So in database management system, there is a software, that there is an application for making our data secure. That means some codes or some passwords are there. That means we can make our file secure. And the last advantage is backup and recovery. This is the last advantage. Backup means what? A copy will be saved, and recovery means what? If any of the files unknowingly have deleted, there we have a same copy we will be saving, so it can be replaced. So children, once again let me discuss, these are the advantages of these are the advantages of database management system. The first one is easy to learn and use. Easy to learn and use means there is no need of a special training to use database management system. So it's very easy to learn and use. The second one is reduced in redundancy. Redundancy means repeating. So we can reduce redundancy. How? We are storing our files, we are storing our database in a central system, in a main computer. First of all, we are doing it. At that time when we are entering, we know if same files we are repeatedly entering, we will know that. Like we can reduce redundancy. Third one is reduce inconsistency. How it has happened means, we told that when we are adding same data 2 or 3 times, the first one will be updated, and the same file when we are entering the second time, it will be replaced. That means it will be deleted because it is inconsistent. Just like that way, we can reduce inconsistency. The fourth one is sharing data. Sharing data means there is an option in database management system to share the data that we have stored. The fifth one is data security, means here there is a useful thing is that we can make our data secure because there are some passwords and some codes are used to save this. So no need of worrying because it is secure there. And the sixth one is backup and recovery. Backup and recovery means there is no need, there is no chance to lose our data and files. So these are the 6 advantages of database management system. Once again, easy to learn and use, reduce redundancy, reduce inconsistency, sharing data, data security, backup and recovery. These are the advantages of DBMS. So in page number 36 and 37, it is clearly given. In page number 36 and 37, the advantages are clearly given. So just read your textbook. So it will be more clear for you. So the next topic is Microsoft Access. This is the next topic. We have discussed in the earlier class that we are using RDBMS, that is Relational Database Management System. That means in table format we are storing our data. That is Relational Database Management System. It's a very easy and convenient manner to store because when we are storing in a table format, at the time when we are looking it will be very easy for us. So this we have discussed earlier, so I hope it is in your mind. So MS Access means it will provide so many programs to manage DBMS or RDBMS. So in MS Access there are so many programs we can use for storing our database. So in this MS Access there are so many objects. So we can discuss the first object in MS Access. The first one is table. We know, we have told that we are storing our data in a table format. So then which will be the first object? Table. This is the main object in DBMS, which is that table. Table means it is completely with horizontal and vertical columns. So in this horizontal and vertical columns, we can enter our data. So table is the main object. Here it will be in vertical and horizontal way. So in the textbook it is clear, it represents the data in the form of rows and columns. In the form of rows and columns. A database contains one or more tables. A table is the main object in Access. So table is the main object in Access, and also it will be included as rows and tables, rows and columns. In those rows and columns we are going to enter. So row is known as a record and column is known as field. So this way we are going to enter. So the second object is field. So in the last class we have told what is a field. In a DBMS there are some basic components. The one is field. We have given that. So field means what? In that field we are entering what want to be done. So if, for example, if we are entering the student's details, the field, which are the fields will be student name, student address, student phone number, then so many other things. So it will be related to what we are going to store. According to that the field will be. So the field is a second object. It provides a way for entering, creating, editing and viewing. So using field we can enter, we can edit and we can present. So these are the way field can do. And the third object is query. So we have discussed, after creating a table, after entering details in this table, field means what? It is the things that what we are going to enter in this table. So field help us to enter. After entering, if we want to edit, that also can do in field. If we want to view something, that also can be done in field. So then what is the use of query? Query means to retrieve what is written. Query means to retrieve and process. So query is used to retrieve and process. So field, I told you, we can enter, edit, view. This is the use of field. Query is used to retrieve, then process. So these are the work done by field and query. So whatever we have entered in field, we can edit there, we can also view there. So if after entering we want to sometimes retrieve that, it can be done using query, and also we want to process, that also done in query part. And the last object is report. Report is the last object in Access. It helps in presenting data in a professional format. So report is used, or report helps us to present. So these are the main objects of MS Access. Once again, the first object is table. Table means it includes rows and columns. These are the things in table. The second object is field. Field means we can enter, we can edit and also we can view. And the third one is query. Query means we can retrieve whatever things we have entered, and also we can process the data whatever we have entered. And the last one is a report. Report is to present. So this present means it is in a professional format. We can take printouts using report. So children, these are the 4 objects in MS Access. Hope all of you are clear. Once again, table field query report. Table means it is included with rows and columns. We are going to enter here. Field means it is inside the table. So here we can enter our data, we can edit that data, also we can view the data. So query, this object is used to process this data. Also whenever we need it, we can retrieve it. And the last one is report. After doing all the process, we can take printout using the report option. So these are the 4 important objects in MS Access. Hope all of you are clear. So it's also given in textbook page number 37. All the definitions are clearly given here. So now we want to know how we can open MS Access. It's very easy. Normally how we are doing the other things, that means first of all we want to start our programs. First of all we want to start our computer. Then in all programs we can see Microsoft Office. Normally in that Microsoft Office we are using a Microsoft Office Word and all. Same way itself, in Microsoft Office you can see Microsoft Access. By clicking Microsoft Access, you can see a page of Microsoft Access. There you can view this page. A page like this will be there. Here, if we are going to enter the details of a student, here there is an option to write, to give the address, that means student details. Then you want to create. So what is the use of database, this MS Access? We are going to create a database management system, a program, or we are going to create a database. Okay, so using MS Access we are going to create a database. So for example, we can take that we are going to create the student details. Student details is what all things needed. Student number will be a number, your roll number, not roll number, your admission number will be there, your name will be the address, date of birth, phone number, father's name, mother's name. These all things will be there. So what we are going to do is we want to create a table, and in that table what all things want to be the student admission number, student name, address, date of birth, phone number. These things want to be there. This want to enter. Okay, so what we are doing, normally what we are doing, we will start and we will give the, when we are taking an admission in the school, what you are going to do? You will move to the office and you will give your details. And the person who is sitting there, what he will do? He will enter all this. First he will give you an admission number, then he will ask you your name, then you will tell that name, then he will be entering your details, everything will be entering. That means this is the database. These data will be entered and stored. So that all we can do. But today we are going to know how this table will be formed. How this table will be formed. That means how, if we want to write student name, the student name want to be there, no? How it is done. So we are going to study how to create that. So this will be done in MS Access. So now we are going to discuss about the creation of MS Access. So MS Access, the way we are entering is in two ways, that is design view and datasheet view. The first one is design view and the second one is datasheet view. So these are the two ways in which we can enter our data in MS Access. The first one is design view and the second one is datasheet view. The picture of design view is in page number 40. It is clearly given each data, how it is entering in each field. So this is the picture of design view. So now we are going to discuss about the design view. In design view there are another option. The first one is field grid view, sorry, field grid area, and second one is field properties area. So in MS Access we can create or we can enter our data in two ways, design view and datasheet view. The first view is design view. Inside design view there are two other areas, field grid area and field properties area. Now we are going to discuss how this data can be entered in design view. So first of all we can discuss what is field grid area. Field grid area contains field name, data type and description. So we all have already discussed that we are going to enter the details of a student. So we want to enter the details of students. So first of all what we are going to create? We are going to create the database. So when we want to enter the details of students, what all things want to be needed in each field, that we are going to create now. So field grid area contains field name, data type, description. Field name means, for example, if you are going to enter students details, student name is an area, field name. Admission number is another field name. Student details is another field name. These are the field names, and data type means it may be number or text. If we are entering name of a student, its data type will be text. Otherwise, if we are entering the phone number, the data type will be number. If we are entering address, the data type will be text. So this is known as data types, and these are the field name. Then description means we are giving a small definition or small description about the data what we are going to enter. So once again, design view is the one of the view that is used to create database in MS Access. It contains two other areas, field grid area and field properties area. Field grid area contains field name, data type and description. Field name means what all field we are going to enter. That is known as field name. And data type means if name is a field name, its data type will be text. Phone number means number. If we are going to enter date of birth, its data type will be DOB. So this is the data types. And the third one is description. Description means we are going to give a small description about the things of the data we are going to enter. So this contains field grid view. So that picture is clearly given here. Here you can see field name, data type, description. The field name entered is employee number. Its data type is number. And its description is employee number of an employee in a company. That is the description given here. Just like that, we can enter other field names like employee name, employee address. So many things we can enter here. And here you can see the other part. This is known as field properties. Before moving to field properties, we can know about the data types and its description. If we are going to enter text, what is the description needed? It is used to enter textual data. If it is number, it is used for entering numeric data in the table. If it is date or time, it is used to enter date and time values in the table. This will be the description given here. So now we can discuss what is field properties area. Field properties area means this is used to define the properties of the table. What all properties we have defined here, it will be defined in the bottom of that table. So this is the page of design view. Here you can enter. So now we are going to enter what? We are going to enter the details of students. So which will be using design view, we are going to enter the details of a student. So which will be the field grid areas? Field name will be student number, admission number will be the So we can enter it. So using design view, we are going to enter the fields of a student. The first field we can give as admission number. So its data type, here this is the field name. This is the data type. So admission number, its data type is number. Then student name, it will be text. Student address, this will also become text. Date of birth will be date or time. This way we want to enter in design view. Then here you can see the description, or the in property field properties area, we can here see the details of each field and data type. It will be in the down section. So this is the design view in MS Access. So another thing we want to discuss is there is another option. There is a special term used in MS Access, that is primary key. This is a important term used in MS Access. Primary key means it will be unique. That means here admission number, name, address, date of birth. Sometimes the chance for entering same name. The name, two students will be having same name. So it will be very difficult for us to identify. Sometimes two students will be from same address, using same address. So this is also will not be unique. Sometimes same date of birth also will be there. So it will not be unique. But here the first column is admission number. This admission number, for one student, one admission number will be there. It will be not having the same number for 2 or 3 students. That means this is the primary key. That is, this will be the unique one. We can identify the students using this admission number. So this will not be double. So this is the unique key in this table. So primary key is the important term used in MS Access. This will be unique one, and this is used to identify the whole table. So once again, we have discussed the design view. Design view having two areas, field grid area and field properties area. Field grid area contains field name, data types, description. These things want to be entered. And field properties area, it will be automatically entered in the computer. So this section want to be entered by the user. So this is the one form in which we can enter data in MS Access. So it is clearly given in page number 40 and 41. Just go through this. So once again we can discuss. In this class we have discussed about the advantages of DBMS, database management system. The first advantage is easy to learn and use, reduce redundancy, reduce inconsistency, sharing of data, security. And the last one is we can have backup and recovery. So these are the advantages of DBMS. After that, we have discussed the 4 important objects in MS Access. The first one is table, form, query, and the last one is report. These are the 4 objects in MS Access. After that, we have studied how to start MS Access. All programs, MS Office, MS Access. After that, we can see the display of MS Access. There you can give according to which details we are entering. If we are entering students details, there we can write student details and you can click on the create option. Then you can see there are 2 views in MS Access, design view and datasheet view. Design view having 2 other areas, field grid area and field properties area. Inside the things want to be entered as field name, data type and description. Field properties area will be done automatically. Then we have discussed an important term in MS Access, that is primary key. It is an unique key in the MS Access. So these are the topics we have discussed today. So hope all of you are clear about that. Now the thing you want to do is read your textbook. So I'm going to wind up this class. Thank you.